gentlemen. You know, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they look at somebody's right now and decide that's all there is to them. They don't see what's inside. They don't see what that person's been through. They don't see the dreams buried under those struggles, the vision waiting behind the delay. They look at your car, your clothes, your paycheck, and they think they've got you figured out. That's the problem, folks, today. Everybody wants the finished product. Nobody wants the process. I've seen this too many times in life. A woman will look at a man and say, he ain't got it together. He don't dress like the others. He don't have the fancy job. He don't take me to five-star restaurants. And just like that, dismissed. But what she didn't know, what she couldn't see, is that this man was on the verge, on the edge of becoming everything she ever wanted. But she was too focused on what he didn't have yet. You can't measure a man by his moment. You got to measure him by his momentum. See, when I was coming up, let me just be real with you. I didn't have nothing. I was homeless. I was living in my car, you hear me? Not because I didn't have dreams, not because I wasn't working, but because dreams take time. I was a man in the making. God was still shaping me, still teaching me. And if you had looked at me back then and judged me by where I was, you would have missed out on who I was becoming. And let me tell you something. Everybody who left me back then, they're watching now. Oh, they watching, because God don't let the faithful fail. He don't. Some of y'all listening right now, you've been overlooked. Somebody walked away from you thinking you wasn't enough. They thought you weren't going anywhere. But what they missed is that you're going somewhere they can't even imagine. You're building something. And you might be tired, you might be broke, you might be confused, but you're not done. You're still in motion. That means there's still time for your story to shift. Don't ever let somebody's disbelief define your destiny. People want the mansion, but they don't want to build the foundation. They want the CEO, but they don't want the intern. They want the glory, but not the grind. And they think they're being smart by walking away from the struggle. But here's the truth. The struggle is where the great ones are born. The ones who've been tested, the ones who've been pushed, the ones who've had to fight for every inch. Those are the people who carry real power. So let them walk. Let them leave. Because if they couldn't see your value when you had nothing, they don't deserve to stand beside you when you have everything. You keep going. You keep grinding. You keep waking up with that fire in your belly, even if the world doesn't see it yet. Because your breakthrough don't require a crowd. All it needs is faith and time. And baby, if you got both of those, you're already on your way. But the next time somebody looks at you and tries to size you up by your current situation, just smile. Smile because you know what they don't. Smile because they're about to see something that they weren't ready for. Smile because you're in the middle of your miracle and God ain't through with you yet. They may have let you go, but now they're about to watch what happens and it's going to blow their mind. Everybody wants to win right now. They want the success now. They want the house, the car, the lifestyle, and they want it all overnight. Well, let me tell you something. Purpose don't move on your schedule. God's timing ain't Amazon Prime. It don't come in 2 days. Purpose takes time. You don't plant a seed today and get a tree tomorrow. You don't hit the gym once and walk out with a six-pack. And you sure don't wake up one morning and become great just because you feel like it. Purpose has a process. And most folks give up before the purpose shows up. See, when you're walking in your purpose, it ain't always flashy. Matter of fact, most of the time, it's lonely. It's quiet. It's you working late at night while everybody else is out having fun. It's you putting in hours when nobody's clapping for you. It's you pushing past rejection, failure, and fear. But if you stay the course, if you hold on, that thing inside you, it starts to rise. The problem is, people confuse progress with perfection. Just because you're not there yet doesn't mean you're not going somewhere. Just because it's taking time doesn't mean God forgot about you. Delay is not denial, it's development. You ask any successful person, any great man or woman, they'll tell you, it didn't happen fast, it took time. You know why? Because purpose has to be built on something solid. If it comes too fast, it'll fall apart just as fast. If the blessing shows up before you're ready, it'll break you. God don't want to give you something that will crush you. He wants to give you something that will carry you. But the world don't understand that. They only celebrate the results, not the resistance. They clap when you win, but they're quiet when you're grinded. So what happens? People walk away from you because they think you're not moving fast enough. They don't see your vision. They don't feel your hunger. They don't understand the assignment God gave you. And that's okay. It wasn't for them. Sometimes God keeps your purpose hidden on purpose. Sometimes he hides your breakthrough to protect it while it matures. And while folks are walking out on you, mocking you, doubting you, God is working behind the scenes, preparing a table in the presence of your enemies. You ever watch somebody you gave up on blow up later, and you sit there like, dang, I didn't know they had it in them. No, you didn't see it, but it was always in them. It just wasn't time yet. Purpose isn't loud. It doesn't beg for attention. It just shows up when the moment is right. And when it does, it changes everything. So stop comparing your journey to somebody else's highlight reel. Stop thinking you're behind because it's taking longer than you thought. You're not late. You're in process. And when your moment comes, oh, it's going to be big. It's going to be bold. And it's going to be worth every second of the wait. Hold on to your vision, even if nobody claps for it. Keep building in silence. Keep preparing in private. Because when purpose finally unfolds, it don't need an introduction. It announces itself. You ever been rejected so hard it made you question everything? You're sitting there like, Lord, why did they leave me? Why didn't I get the job? Why did they walk out when I needed them most? I know that pain. I've lived that pain. But let me tell you something I've learned over the years. Something God showed me when I was flat on my back, confused and alone. Rejection is not the end. Rejection is often divine protection. See, some of y'all been crying over people who walked away from you and you don't even realize that was God doing you a favor. You begged him to bless you. You asked him to give you peace, to give you purpose. And he said, okay, but I got to remove some people first. We think rejection is punishment. We think it means we weren't good enough, smart enough, attractive enough. But sometimes it's not about you at all. It's about them. God sees things you can't see. He hears conversations behind your back. He knows the motives in their heart. And when he takes them out of your life, it ain't to hurt you. It's to protect you from what you couldn't see coming. Now, let me keep it real. When you're in the middle of it, it hurts. Rejection don't feel like protection when you're wiping your tears, when your phone stops ringing, when they choose somebody else over you. You feel lost, you feel betrayed, you question your worth. But later when you look back with clearer eyes and a healed heart, you'll say, thank God they let me go. Because if they hadn't let you go, you'd still be stuck in a space that couldn't handle your calling. You'd be shrinking yourself to stay accepted by people who were never meant to walk with you into the next chapter. You'd be loyal to folks who were silently rooting against you. That's why God had to shut the door, even if it hurt. You ever try to take everybody with you into a season that was only meant for you? You trying to carry folks who ain't prayed like you, who ain't sacrificed like you, who don't believe like you, and you wonder why the weight feels so heavy? It's because you drag a dead weight into a divine assignment. That's not how purpose works. Purpose requires pruning. God will cut off who can't go so you can grow. Now, here's the part most people miss. Some of the biggest blessings in your life will come after somebody told you no. You didn't get the job, and that led you to start the business. You didn't get the ring, and later you found real love. You got turned down, and that pushed you to level up. God will use rejection as a redirect. I remember when I didn't get picked for a role I wanted so bad, I was crushed. I thought, man, that was my shot. But you know what? If I had gotten that role, I would have missed the opportunity to truly change my life. That rejection was God's way of saying, I got something better, but I need you to trust me. See, that's the real test. Not how you act when you win, but how you behave when it feels like you're losing. Can you still believe when they walk away? Can you still have faith when the door slams shut? That's when you prove whether you're walking by sight or walking by faith. Rejection don't define you, it refines you. It sharpens your focus. It builds your strength. It exposes what you don't need, and it pushes you toward what you were truly meant to become. So if someone left you, let them go. If the opportunity passed, let it pass. If the door closed, stop banging on it. What God has for you, listen to me, cannot miss you. No man, no woman, no company, no hater, no betrayal can block the plan God has for your life. That rejection was redirection. That closed door was God saying, not here, not them, not now. And the moment you stop chasing what's gone and start trusting what's coming, that's when everything starts to change. You didn't lose them. You got saved from what was never meant to be yours in the first place. You don't need anybody's permission to become great. Let me say that again. You don't need approval, validation, or applause to step into your calling. Some of y'all are sitting around holding back your gifts, your ideas, your dreams, because you're waiting on somebody to co-sign your greatness. You're waiting on your family to believe in you, waiting on your friends to support you, waiting on somebody to tell you, you got what it takes. And let me tell you something, if you're waiting on people, you're going to wait forever. Your rise doesn't need their yes. God already said yes when he gave you the vision. The moment he placed that dream inside you, it became real. The approval that matters most didn't come from the world. It came from above. And when you understand that, oh baby, you become unstoppable. But here's what folks don't realize. Most people won't believe in you until after you succeed. It's just how it is. They don't see the late nights. They don't see the lonely days. They don't see the rejections, the setbacks, the moments you wanted to quit. All they see is the outcome. And once the spotlight hits you, then they want to clap. But where were they when you were building in the dark? Stop waiting for the cheerleaders. This ain't high school. This is life. And in life, sometimes you got to be your own biggest fan. Sometimes you got to wake up, look in the mirror, and say, I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. You got to clap for yourself when nobody else will. See, your rise is between you and God. The people around you don't have the power to stop it unless you give it to them. And too many folks give their power away trying to please everybody. You try to shrink yourself to make other people comfortable. You play small so you don't upset the room. You water down your dreams so people don't feel insecure. That's not humility, that's fear. And fear will rob you of your destiny. You weren't put on this earth to be average. You weren't born to blend in. You've got something in you that the world needs, but the world won't always recognize it right away. That's okay. Let them sleep. Just make sure when they wake up to success with your name on it. Now listen, you're going to get criticized no matter what you do. If you play it safe, they'll say you're lazy. If you take risks, they'll say you're crazy. If you fail, they'll laugh. If you win, they'll hate. So why not just do you anyway? Why not go all in on your gift? Why not give them something to talk about? When you stop chasing approval, you start chasing purpose. And purpose is bigger than people's opinions. Purpose is what gets you up in the morning when you're tired. Purpose is what keeps you moving when nobody's watching. Purpose is what carries you through the storms and brings you out stronger. You don't need them to get it. You don't need them to like it. You just need to be bold enough to walk in it. Because your rise, your success, your growth, your breakthrough was never supposed to be controlled by someone else's belief in you. It was built on your belief in God, your belief in yourself, and your willingness to keep going no matter what. So the next time they doubt you, smile. The next time they walk away, wave goodbye. Because they're about to witness a rise that didn't need their permission and couldn't be stopped by their doubt.